Nobody goes into the swamp after sunset anymore, not after the bodies started appearing. The swamp stretched for miles. Behind our town in southern Louisiana, black water, dead trees, covered in hanging moss, and mud deep enough to swallow a truck whole. During the day, it looked beautiful in a rotten kind of way. At night, it felt alive. People used to disappear out there occasionally. Hunters, tourists, drunk teenagers trying to scare each other. But things got worse. After Hurricane Celia tore through town 3 years ago, that's when they found the first body hanging from the cypress trees, not tied up, hooked, massive rusted fishing hooks, buried deep through the ribs, while swamp water poured from the corpse's mouth onto the mud below. The police blamed a serial killer immediately. The locals blamed the swamp. They started calling whatever lived out there the swamp killer. My older brother Dean disappeared there last summer. He and his friends took an airboat into the flooded marsh after hearing rumors about an abandoned shack deep in the swamp, covered in animal bones and missing person photos. Only the boat came back, floating empty near the shoreline at dawn. Inside they found blood, broken lanterns, Dean's phone, and dozens of muddy footprints covering the floor. Bare human footprints, way too large. The sheriff told everyone Dean drowned, but I knew better, because 2 nights after the search ended, Dean came home. At least, something wearing him did. I woke around 1 a.m. to wet footsteps crossing our front porch. Slow, dragging sounds moved past my bedroom window, while insects outside suddenly went silent. Then came knocking at the back door. 3 slow knocks. Mom answered before I could stop her. I still remember her scream. I ran into the kitchen and saw Dean standing in the doorway, dripping black swamp water onto the floorboards. His skin looked pale and swollen beneath the porch light, while long strands of moss clung to his clothes. His eyes reflected strangely in the dark, like animal eyes. Mom hugged him immediately, despite the smell rolling off him. Rotting water, mud, something dead. Dean barely spoke after coming home. He'd sit silently for hours, staring toward the woods behind our house, while muddy water pooled beneath his boots. Sometimes at night, I'd hear him whispering to someone outside his bedroom window. Then the animals started disappearing. Dogs, cats, livestock from nearby farms. People found pieces of them hanging from trees near the swamp edge, skinned clean with rusted hooks, buried into the flesh. And every morning, Dean came home wetter. One night I followed him around midnight. He walked silently from the house toward the swamp, carrying something heavy, wrapped in tarp over his shoulder. I stayed far enough behind that he wouldn't hear me. The deeper we went into the marsh, the quieter everything became. No frogs, no crickets, nothing. Then I smelled smoke. Deep in the swamp sat an old shack raised above the water on rotting stilts. Lanterns glowed faintly through broken windows, while dozens of animal carcasses hung from ropes tied beneath the porch. And surrounding the shack were people, at least 20 of them, standing waist deep in swamp water, completely motionless. Their bodies looked bloated and gray beneath the moonlight, while fishing hooks pierced their skin like decorations. Every single one stared toward the shack, waiting. Dean climbed onto the porch and dropped the tarp at the front door. Something inside it moved. Then the door opened. The thing that stepped out wasn't human.